My name is Malou Perez Nievera, and this is Skip to Malou Cooking with a Filipino accent. I love the rain, but when it rains for like 5 consecutive days, I need a pick-me-upper. So today, I'm thinking of cooking a comforting bowl of sinigang. Sinigang is actually a method of cooking, which usually involves souring agents such as tamarind, guava, or even lemon. But the most common one is tamarind. So, for today's segment, I'm going to take you to a quick trip to the grocery store because I want my sinigang to have a melange of fresh vegetables. Also with sinigang, you could use different kinds of protein. For me personally, I like the pork belly ribs. But my husband, whenever you say sinigang to him, he wants his sinigang with shrimp. I am going to show you how to put this together. I mean, the pork belly ribs and the shrimp. Or better yet, let's call it the surf and turf version of sinigang. Sinigang has a melange of vegetables on it, but these are what I usually put in my sinigang. For the eggplant, I use the Japanese eggplant. I also use serrano chili. I'll get this for my torta. It says Philippine eggplant. And I think my tomatoes, it has to be very ripe because I want tomatoes to blend in with the broth. So for today's sinigang, we will use this. It's called sawa soup and it's tamarind. It's actually a Thai brand. It's chilly, it's raining, it's cold, but someone has to do it, right? Welcome to my kitchen! Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that whenever I cook sinigang, I also make it a point to cook Tortang Talong on the side. It's like the sinigang is married to Tortang Talong, like you cannot have one without the other. That's how it goes in our household. Okay, so this is what we gathered from the grocery store. First, we have the bok choy. You could also use watercress or spinach. And then we have string beans. And then we have here serrano peppers, eggplant. With my eggplant, I love to use Japanese eggplant, and I'll show you why later. And then tomatoes. I want my tomatoes to be really ripe, and as you can see, it's really soft. Lemons to add the sourness. And then to add a little freshness, I'd like to put some mushrooms. And then since I'm including shrimp in it, I'm including a sliver of ginger. And then of course, there's the onion. So for our proteins, as I've mentioned, we have pork belly ribs. Yep, make sure that there's bone on it. We have the shrimp. Make sure to have shrimp heads because again, that will add another depth. And then for our souring agent, the most common souring agent is tamarind, and this is what I got. Here also is washings. And for our torta, we need eggplant, and then crab meat, salt and pepper to taste, and then of course we have the eggs. The first thing that we're gonna do is to boil our pork belly ribs. I learned this from my husband's grandmother. She throws the first boil, and that way you remove all the scums and all the impurities. Earlier, the butcher cut the ribs into cubes, so you could always request them to do that for you. Otherwise, it's a lot of work to do that because you have it's bone-in ribs. So what you want to do is to cook it until it boils, and once you see it's boiling, pitch the water, and then we could use the pork to cook our sinigang. Now the next thing is for us to develop the broth, and we do that by putting the rice washings. This is just like when you wash your rice, This is the water. And then the onions, I really want to use very ripe tomatoes because this is just how I'm just gonna do it. Just squeeze it there. I learned this from my dad. He loves to do this with tomatoes. Then another one. You basically just tear it apart like so. Okay. So we will let this boil, and as I've said, I want the tomatoes to be like really dissolved into the liquid, so this will take some time. So let's cover it. Get the lid, cover it. So while we wait for our pork belly to boil, and also for our tomatoes and onions to like really fuse into the broth, I'd like to shift our attention and let's make our tortang talong. And the first thing that I want to do with my tortang talong is I'll go step outside and grill this. It's raining outside, so I can't take you, but basically all you need to do is to grill this on your griller. Okay, I had to put on my apron because it was splattering. Now that it's rapidly boiling, let's switch it off, and then let's pitch the water. Check also our onions and our tomatoes. So as you can see, the broth is already turning orangey, and that's how you want it. And what I'm just gonna do is to add the pork in there, and let's cook it until it's tender. Take the lid back and cover it, and probably cook it for 20 minutes or until the pork belly is really tender. Okay. And also, these are the eggplants that I grilled. You literally just grill it over fire, and you want it to be really soft, and also the skin is burnt like so. So we'll set it aside and work on the torta or the omelette later. Okay. So while the pork belly is tenderizing, we're boiling it, and I went ahead and took out the whiskers of the shrimp. Let's also work on our veggies. You see, you know, cooking should be fun, and I always love this part because you could be creative in presenting your vegetables. Just like for this eggplant, what I want to do is to like make it look like it's a flower. So let me cut it this way. For the string beans, all you need to do is remove the edges, like so. And then again, you could play around with it. Like I always love to make it like a bow. See how fun? There you go. Like that. Remove the edges. It's like playing, right? It's like tying your shoelace or whatever you imagine. Sorry, all you need to do is slice the bottom and then make sure that you soak it in water and then wash it off because there are so many grits and dirt around it. Also, by the way, I love to put okra into my sinigang, but the store didn't have that today, so keep that in mind. So now let's check on our pork belly, and it looks like it's cooking nicely. See, it's pork tender already. And also, as you can see, our tomatoes are also already like so wilted. Now we're ready to put on our shrimp. Cooking shrimp takes less than 10 minutes. So what I want to do is, as soon as the first boil, when we drop the shrimp, I'm going to put the string beans right away. So as you can see, the shrimp is changing its color. Let me go ahead and get the string beans, the eggplant as well, all the hearty vegetables. Let's cover it. Cook it for the next 5 to 8 minutes. We're almost done. Others like their vegetables to be really cooked, while I prefer my vegetables to be at least crisp. So put that there. Also the peppers, Looks like the pot is really full and doesn't fit, but our bok choy will shrink fast, so all you need to do is just cover it. This is definitely how I want my veggies to look like. They still have their vibrant color. And now let's put in our tamarind. I want my sinigang to be really so sour. That's why I have also lemon on the side, just in case it's not enough. Let's taste it. I still want it to be a little more sour, so let me add lemon. A special shout out also to Dorothy. Dorothy, this is for you. You asked me how I cook my sinigang without using the sinigang mix, so this is how I cook it, okay? So now, let me add some lemon, just also to brighten the dish up, and also to add a little more sourness there, because I said I want my lips to pucker up and my eyes to squint when I eat my sinigang. At this point, I also would like to add to the list of your ingredients, maybe a tablespoon of patis would do, or if you like it a little salty, just add some more. And I'd like to finish off by putting my mushrooms. This is optional though. I just love mushrooms. So our sinigang is cooked. Now let's work on our tortang talong. In my tortang talong, I'm not going to make it like an omelette. Instead, I'm going to use my waffle maker. Why not, right? I told you, cooking is your way of expressing yourself in the kitchen, and I like doing things that's out of the box. Let's put it that way. So when I served that during one of my Kamayan feasts, my diners love the idea of Tortang Talong waffle. How's that? All I need to do is add a little pepper, then salt. And I'm telling you, this is not the traditional way of making your tortang talong. But hey, the flavors are there. It's still so good. Tastes like your grandmother's tortang talong, so why not, right? So let's add in around 4 to 5 eggs. I love doing it this way because, to tell you honestly, I can't perfect making an omelette with the shape of an eggplant. So I found this a little easier than the usual way to prepare it. And the end result is phenomenal. My family loves it, so. I've said this is not how your Lola makes your tortang talong, but this is how I make it. Make sure your waffle maker is really hot. Then add it like so. Isn't it fun? Then close it. Cooking it for about 3 to 4 minutes. Let's see. Yum, right? See how easy that was? That's my version of tortang talong in a waffle form. So when your guests are coming, you could have the option to like pour the soup in front of them, and they think that you're the best home cook there is. But actually, this is just your ordinary sinigang that you make every day. How's that? Good. In any waffle, you dollop it with syrup. This one you have to dollop it with. A spread like this definitely hits the spot on a rainy day like this. Don't you think so? Okay, this is my best part. Let's see. I have my warm rice here, check. I have the talong waffle here, check. And my pork belly. Did you see my eyes squint? That's how I want my sinigang. It's so sour that you pucker up and your eyes squint. It's so good. I'm sure you would love to be here in my kitchen at this point, right? So Dorothy, I hope I have inspired you to go to your kitchen and cook sinigang without the packet. And to everyone out there, I hope that you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you cook these dishes, to share it to your Instagram or Facebook using the hashtags STMFoodgram. Hanggang sa muli, this is Malou saying, that's sarap!